very short khatira that is going to give you a headache. It's going to make you reach a point that your mind is going to stop thinking. The sun is 90 million miles away from the earth. 1 million earth fit inside the sun. 1.3 million suns fit in our, 1.3 trillion suns fit in our Milky Way. And there are 200 billion Milky Ways. Why am I mentioning this? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said that Allah's kursi, compared to what we just said, the size of the kursi, compared to what we just said, yani all these Milky Ways combined, is like a ring thrown in the desert. A ring, all these billions of Milky Ways and sun size and earth size, compared to the kursi, which is the footstool of Allah, is like a ring thrown in the desert. And if I throw a ring in Plano, we cannot find it. Forget about Dallas or Texas. No. In a complete desert. You get the headache? Right? Okay, listen to this. We're not done. The kursi compared to the arsh is like a ring thrown in the desert. The kursi, all this, compared to the throne of Allah, الذي استوى عليه, in a way that only befits His Majesty, is like a ring thrown in the desert. طيب Shaykh, what are we getting? I want you to remember all that when you're saying Allahu Akbar. I want you to remember all that when you're saying Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. I want you to remember all that when you raise your hands and know who you're asking. You're not asking Baajour. When you raise your hand, we raise our hands sometimes and we ask in a way that we are asking one another. But when I think about the greatness of Allah Azza wa Jal, then what is my $1 million debt? What is my cancer 4th stage is? Nothing. I am asking the Shafi himself. I'm asking the Ghani himself. وَيَحْمِلُ عَرْشَ رَبِّكَ فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ ثَمَانِيَةٌ. On that day, there will be 8 angels carrying the arsh. How big are they? Only Allah knows. But Rasulullah ﷺ said, أُذِنَ لِي. I was given the permission to describe one of them. The distance between his earlobe and his shoulder is 700 years traveling. And also I want you to remember all this when you think of sinning. When you think of disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal, think who you are disobeying. My brothers and sisters, the greatness of Allah Azza wa Jal is beyond our comprehension. And Allah Azza wa Jal told us that He loves us to ask Him. He loves us to ask Him. Exactly the opposite of the human being. Human being, you ask Him a couple of times, you get bored. Hil anni, leave me alone. Allah gets upset if you don't ask Him. So ya akhwan, when we ask, please remember all that. Remember who you're asking. The one who owns all this. The one who runs all this with utmost perfection. I was telling the children today in our health school, have you ever heard, oh, the sky is closed for 2 weeks for maintenance? Millions of years and millions of years to come and not one scratch. You build a house in Texas, after 3-4 years, cracks all over. Utmost perfection. So the point is, please, when we ask with certainty, with yaqeen, that Allah not only can, Allah will answer my dua. May Allah answer all our dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the pleasure of looking at His face. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.